No worries. No worries. Yeah, they've been in contact with me for a long time, and they've been watching my progress. Like Coach Sean said, for longer than 4 years. So it hasn't been a thing of just a quick decision or anything like that. It was definitely quite interesting how they took their time and followed me and followed my rugby, followed my growth. So yeah, that's how it all started to really become such a reality quite quickly. But yeah.
And when did you make the decision? I mean, when did it? Because I mean, you played SA schools, SA in the 20s, so
Yes.
you were on a path, I suppose,
Yes.
to go to the top. So
yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, the decision there it's become more. How can I put it? It became more definite, I would say, this year, towards the latter part of these latest 2 years, where I thought that is really going to be my path, and a decision that I'm so happy about as well, and so excited to be part of. And I know there's still a lot of work to be done, and I've still got to put up my hand in a lot of areas. So yeah, I think it's become more recent, to these later parts. I would say probably the last year or 2 years. Yeah.
I suppose the question I have to ask is, I mean, did you feel that your pathway to the box, was that ever a consideration? Did you feel it was blocked, or did you feel perhaps this is the easier way to go to international rugby? Or what was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, I think to say easy is quite a wrong term, because Scottish rugby has really put its hand up, and they're starting to play some excellent rugby. And that's also another thing. My goal in my rugby career has always been to play international rugby, and I definitely wouldn't say that this is the easier path. It's just the path that I see myself fitting into, and being able to have a nice, long, good career that I'm really excited to join. And I would say it's more of an investment process. Scotland have been in contact with me for a long time, and I just feel that is the correct decision for me. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to be part of them and their whole setup. So yeah.
So how's it going to work now? Because you're going to carry on playing for the Sharks, I take it. And obviously, when you play for Scotland, you head up north. But is that the plan now, to carry on staying in Durban and playing for the Sharks?
Yes. So yeah, I think that was probably the hardest thing for me. I never knew how the Sharks would react. And I've always been open and honest with the Sharks. I've been at the Sharks since I came straight out of school. So the Sharks for me is my home. It's a place that I have seen myself trying to play for since I was a kid. So the Sharks has always been my dream, and it's always been my first dream. It's something that I'm very, what's the best term to put it? I feel like, I wouldn't say I owe them something, but I love being part of the Sharks. And, so my big thing was obviously being completely open with them, and, the way that they've gone about everything has been so massive for me, and it's helped me so much in terms of getting across. Ed has a very good relationship with Gregor, and that just makes things so much easier. And it doesn't have to be, the fact that it doesn't have to be an argument or anything like that is just so amazing, that the Sharks can just support my choice and my journey. And I think that really for me has been one of the biggest things out of this whole situation, and something that I'm most proud to be like a part of. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with how the Sharks have helped me out so much.
You've been part of your career, I suppose, part of the frustration of your career is you've been shifted around the park in terms of positions. And, I mean, for a player that's versatile, you're not the first one. You've seen Grant Pino was a perfect example there. He also got shifted around 19, 15. Has that come to, have you got a bit more clarity about where you're going to be looking at for your future?
Yeah, definitely. It was always a very difficult thing for me to answer, but I think the answer has become, more and more easier with time. I've kind of played myself into the position that I see myself at the moment, which is obviously a six flank or any loose forward position. That is what comes naturally to me. And for me, I think at the end of the day, it's best to play the thing that you enjoy and understand the reason why you started rugby and how much you love it. I just really enjoy the game from that position. And I do actually enjoy hooker as well because I love rugby. So I wouldn't write off hooker. I'd actually, maybe later on in my career, I wouldn't mind doing a stint or two there as well. But I think for me, the big focus right now and something that I'm going to put all my effort and energy into is to try and become a world-class loose forward. So that's something that I'm going to have to work towards every single day. And I think that was my biggest problem was, focusing on two different things. Sometimes you can be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So I think I've definitely narrowed my focus and energy into loose forward.
I remember an article that a colleague of mine, Dylan Richardson, did as well with you, where it was on the time that Sia transferred to the Sharks as well, and you said you weren't going to stand back and you're going to play for your place, etc. How's that been going? I mean, obviously Sia's been away with a box, but that's some competition in the sixth jersey to have as the Springbok captain.
Look, that article was actually done before I even met Sia, and that if you get to know me as a person, I mean, that's just my character. I'll never stand down for anyone. It doesn't matter how hard that bridge is. And I still feel the exact same way. Every position on the rugby field is debatable and up for grabs. It's just about who wants it the most. But Sia is an absolutely unbelievable person, and getting to know him lately has been really, really awesome. And actually getting to work with him, I learned quite a lot from him. And I think that's so important, and that's so awesome about the Sharks. They're building a culture, and a group of players that come from all sorts of backgrounds. We're getting guys coming in from Australia. There's Samoans. There's, you've got Sia Khaleesi. You've got players of such high calibers, and I mean, only greatness can form from that. If Oaks are willing to learn from each other and open up, I just think that's going to be such an awesome environment for me to be in as well. And hopefully by me taking this journey that I'm on now, I'll be able to come back and, help experience other people in maybe a different asset or different way to the game in which Scotland sees it. So it's just, I think that's what's really, really good about the Sharks. And I think that's the path that is really going to lead the Sharks team to greatness in a couple of years down the line. And I'm a true believer of that. So, yeah.
And I mean, you're obviously off to the camp now this weekend, but how's it been on the tour? First of all, conditions have been rather different. There's been ups and downs in the tours for all the South African teams, but you guys finally got a win last week. How's that been?
Yeah. It's been. I must admit, it's been difficult. Like, the first week or two, it's a completely new tournament for everyone, and it's more about the South African teams finding their feet a bit. There's the way that the refs ref the game is different, and we have to understand that, and we have to abide by their rules. And there's certain things that we need to do in terms of our game to be able to play at this level. There's certain other aspects to the game that are required, and I think it's so awesome for us because as South Africans we are really able to adapt to this type of game. And I'm sure you've seen that. The Bulls had an awesome win on the weekend, came out in the second half, and we managed to sort out our stuff as well from the get-go. So I think as the tournament goes on, I think you'll see this African teams definitely getting better and better with it every game. And it's just a little bit of a learning process that won't take too long, I don't think. And I think I'm sure a couple months down the line, South Africans will be very proud of all the unions who have joined this URSC from where we started to where we end up.
Yeah, I think the one thing that has come through from some of the other teams as well, what they've been surprised is, see if you feel the same, is that in terms of, especially in terms of the breakdown, the way the European teams attack the breakdown, especially not the first or second breakdown, but the third, fourth, fifth, that it's a lot harder than we used to in Super Rugby and South African rugby. Yes,
definitely. The thing is, they're so clinical, which is absolutely awesome, because if we can get our game to that same level of breakdown and the way that they do it, I think, we'll be kind of unstoppable in terms of that type of stuff. But yeah, that is 100% correct. They are very, very good at that. And that's something that we picked up and noticed very early in the competition.
And we're talking about flankers, talked about Sia, but there in Scotland, Hamish Watson's not the worst jackler, as they call him, either. That's some good competition to have as well.
Yes, no, that's absolutely awesome. I'm very excited to learn from him. Playing against him in the British and Irish Lions, I really thought he was an unbelievable player. And I'm really excited to hopefully work with him and to learn from him. And hopefully try and, get my way up into there, because obviously competition is only going to make your game better.
You obviously, you're a Durban boy, so I'm going to say you're a bit of a Soti, I suppose. You're going to meet some of your Scottish teammates that aren't that speak a lot more Afrikaans than you over there. We were actually chatting to Pierre earlier this week as well, and Yaku and those guys as well. At least Ollie's there; he speaks English. So you're looking forward to those guys.
Yeah, I really am. I'm getting, that's what's also so nice, is that there's going to be other guys who are also there in that environment. So yeah, I'm really excited to meet them. I've never met any of them before, but I've heard from a couple of the guys in my team that they're absolutely awesome gents. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting them.
Yeah. One negative in one of the Scottish papers today, there has been ignited the debate again about project players as well. I see Craig Chalmers came out and said it's going too far. There's too many foreigners. I know that's not really fair to ask you really that, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's a professional game and you've got to go where the opportunities rise.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I am linked to Scotland, down the line in my family history. So I've got ancestry and, I'm just as much Scottish as I am South African, I guess, if you think about it. So yeah, I do understand how people feel, but yeah, I don't really see the issue in that terms.
Okay, now a couple of softball questions for you. Just away from the field, other than rugby, everyone knows you for rugby. So what else do you do? What would people be surprised at hearing that you spend your off time?
Yeah, so I'm actually quite a big fisherman. I enjoy my kayak fishing. Okay. So yeah, that's one thing I will miss a little bit. But I'm sure I'll make time for it. We actually had like a nice little Mozambique trip planned. We were going to go take our kayaks down when I got back from this tour, because I think we get like 3 weeks off, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, so we had like a nice little trip planned to get up to Mozambique and go get some fishing done. So yeah, those are the things that I do.
Now you can't. You got to go to the camp.
Yeah, well now. Yeah, no, I can't, but it's fine. I'm sure I'll make up for it in the long run.
Well, I suppose you can go kayak fishing on all the lochs up there when you put some feet on the top. So you might see something else there that hasn't been seen for a while there.
Yeah, geez, and I might need an extra thick wetsuit as well.
Yeah, because it's a bit cooler. It's a bit cooler than Mozambique there. So yeah.
Yeah, just slightly. Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, obviously fishing's a big thing, but other than that, I mean, are you any other?
Yeah, look, I really enjoy my training and my health lifestyle. So if I'm not doing that, I'll be, doing CrossFit, going for runs on the beach, all that type of stuff. So yeah, that's basically my life between fishing, training, rugby, and family. Yeah, it's one of those things. I play a bit of golf as well, which I do enjoy. So I'm looking forward to getting a golf course in Scotland. Would be awesome.
Which rugby player doesn't, though? I mean, I think this.
Yeah, exactly.
Your dad's history. I mean, did he ever play rugby in his time?
I think he did play rugby. He used to play centre, if I'm not mistaken, because he was in Zimbabwe. So I think he played there for, if I'm not mistaken, they had like a. The army had they would have like a rugby, if I'm not, I can't really remember exactly what it was about. But they would have like a rugby team in that. So I think he played there a bit, and yeah, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure how good he was. He enjoyed the gym a lot more than he did sport.
Your dad's name, just so I can include it as well.
Neil Richardson.
Okay, Neil. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Always, and then I always ask this question in an interview in case there's something that's sort of close to your heart that you want to say, but nobody ever asked the question. Is there anything you feel you want me to ask or you want to tell people?
Yeah, I just think, I think, people say like, it's not lacquer because I'm leaving South Africa. And, that's not necessarily the case. The case is that, I'm really proud to get this opportunity. And I'm so happy that Scotland have come and allowed me to be part of their journey. And I can't wait to be part of it and put on that blue jersey, to be honest. I'm very, very excited for what's to come. And thankful and grateful for this opportunity in my life.
The same thing as we said to Pierre. I mean, you may or may not be lucky enough to play the Boks now in November, because that might be a bit too soon to maybe have that expectation. But if not, the Boks are in the same World Cup group as Scotland as well. So at some point you will cross paths with that with the green and gold. That might be a bit weird, I suppose, from singing both anthems in a way.
Yeah, look, it will be a bit weird, but I think it will be a hell of an opportunity. And it's a game that I definitely am going to look forward to in my career, because it's kind of the best of both worlds. You're going to have both sides watching you quite intensely. So I think it's just the even bigger stage, and I think it will be a really awesome game.
Cool, man. And then just lastly, when are you contracted to the Sharks until?
I'm contracted until 2024.
Okay, so it's still a couple of years, at least.
Yeah.
I just want to put that in the article as well. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Cool. No, that's it. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to mention. I think I've got enough here, probably. So good luck.
For tomorrow. Perfect. Thank you for your time.